And as you know, loose ball recovery, it's the hustle play. It's what you want to see. He's got 5.
We are getting set for the opening throwdown. Wrath wearing the black, the Mob wearing the red pinstripes, and it's the Wrath at 3-2 in 3rd place here in SlamBall with the first possession of the game. When you're on the island, you can't stay there for more than 3 seconds with the ball. Once you leave the slam zone, you have to reset by throwing it against the wall. We play with a 20-second shot clock. It's down to 2. There's a shot from the outside, no good. Rebound from the island. There's Jordan Jones. Here's Nick Parks, the cutter, met by the stopper, Gage Smith, and the Mob get the takeaway. Cameron Horton will set up the cutter from the wing, back to Horton.
You know, the one thing you're going to see with the Mob, they really like to set an offense. They want to move the ball around, they want to cut, and they want to try and get the defense off guard.
Good stop there by Sean Stiff, his first rejection of the night. Parks coming the other way from the wing.
Reset it, reset. Good.
Darian Slade will reset off the glass.
Good. Get off, get off, get off, get off.
3 seconds on the shot clock for the Wrath, and it's taken away by the Mob. John, you're so right. It's impressive to see the Mob cutting from so many different angles on the court.
Even watching them in pregame, it seemed like their pregame was so much more organized than the Wrath.
They're playing chess and everybody else is playing checkers at certain points, right?
That's what it looks like.
And that's why they're 6-0 on the season. The only undefeated team left in SlamBall here now in week 2. Cutting is Jordan Jones, lays it up. Just got affected by Gage Smith.
And John, throughout the night, we'll be presenting different odds because, yes, it is bettable now in SlamBall. The Mob, a -250 favorite in this game. So that's a significant number. That means they're a really big favorite. And you have to imagine the Wrath would be in a different situation had they had their key players.
All right, I'm going to follow up on that in just a second, but we have our first face-off of the night. Cameron Hollins will go one-on-one against Nick Parks. Here comes Hollins. He didn't even smile. He said it is all business. It's a mob-like mentality. There's our first bucket. You get a slam. It's good for 3 points. All right, Stormy, -250. What does that mean? Break that down for bettors.
Yes, so essentially it means you have to bet $250 to win 100. So that's a good example of just showing you how much they are truly favored by in this spot. But in addition to no Ty McGee for the Wrath, they don't have Christian Gray. They don't have Stephen Julian either. So you feel like this is a team that could be competitive maybe a little bit later on down the line once they're able to get a little bit more health back.
All right, we will keep our eye on that.
Let's go.
Especially when we talk about money.
Money.
We trying to win that cash moolah. We in Vegas, baby. The Mob head coach, he is one of the OGs, Brendan Kirsch, one of the original coaches in SlamBall. They come out wearing suits because they say it is all business when the Mob take the court.
I don't understand what the call was.
So Sean Stiff, because he was fouled, he'll have a face-off going one-on-one. It was the little man, Cameron Hollins at 6'1", stopping Stiff at 6'8".
Look, Cam Hollins did his job and stopped it, but there is absolutely no way he didn't feel it.
Wrath head coach James Willis come back after he served his one-game suspension. He was ejected for getting into it in the first week with a fellow coach.
He let him go.
Jordan Jones.
2 points, popcorn.
And a popcorn violation. That's when the defender stops the bounce of the offensive player trying to enter the trance. Because that's the second violation in the bonus, the Wrath get automatic 2 points and they keep the ball.
Reset it. Good. Don't touch him yet.
Jones, that's from the outside. Just left it a little short. Slade tracks down the rebound. Because it hits the rim, shot clock resets to 12. Throwing it up and just off the mark, so the Mob will get it back.
Yeah, and keep in mind that 4-point shot's about 3 feet further than the NBA arc. It's a bomb. And there you go. That's what we were talking about with the Mob. Getting that wing cut coming in and throwing up the alley-oop, getting Stiff off balance. The Mob is great at executing offensive plays.
Cameron Hollins was flying through there. Just losing the footing is Jones. So the Mob come right back. Cam Horton out of Jacksonville, Alabama. Somehow that one went in. It's a 2-pointer for the Mob. Substitutions made on the fly, just like you do in hockey. You don't have to stop play. We keep going back and forth here in SlamBall. And we have a player who's actually caught in the tramp at the other end. So they stop play so they can get Simpson out of the tramp safely.
Yeah, it looks like he might have had a shoe fall off there.
Raf had the ball.
We got an equipment issue, which is great because obviously we don't want to see anybody go down. So it's good for the mob that Brandon Simpson is going to be okay and make a quick adjustment.
He's good.
The durability of these guys is something incredible. You were an NFL player for 14 years. I know you've seen your fair share of guys get banged up. The collisions we see here on a nightly basis are unreal.
Not only that, but when you look at the island and the padding around the tramp, it's not like super padding here, right? I mean, it's a hard surface, and they're getting 15s. Oh my gosh! Are you kidding me?
Get to know my name.
Talk about football and being physical. He is a football guy that wants to step up, and he loves to hit, and he just showed it.
The Wrath are 4th in the league, averaging just over 4 hits per game. But that was one of the bone-crushing hits of the night.
That might have been one of the best of the season.
It was right on cue, and it's always good when the helmet kind of flies off a little bit, right?
I mean, you talked about padding on the floor. These guys aren't wearing much padding underneath their jerseys.
No, and they're falling on a wood floor. Great no-look pass right there. Are you kidding me? By Justin Holloway.
Trying to tie it up, and they do. So when the ball gets tied up, the possession goes to the defense. Take another look at this hit, John.
Darian Slade just coming in and bringing the wood. Like I said, he's a football guy. Now, keep in mind this. He's a physical player, but he knows because Ty McGee's out, he's got to step his game offensively, and he's up for the challenge.
So Slade slammed Gage into the wall. That is illegal because he was hit from behind. And now because the Mob are in the bonus, they get 2 points and keep the ball. 17.9 seconds to play here in this first quarter.
Good.
Cam Hollins will get into the offense from the stopping position. 360!
You know, that was a perfect situation where the pass was a little bit low, but I think their mistiming is what got Stiff kind of out of the time.
At the horn.
Whoa, baby! The big man at 6'8", 220, 255, dropping the 50-footer like it was nothing. It probably wasn't 50, but it was probably 30. I'll give it 30-footer.
Whoever's on the right side, you guys are getting killed by him. He's terrible. They're just throwing you in there. They haven't came from this side the whole time. We're going to have one of you guys down there.
We get ready for the start of the second quarter. It's the Mob with a 10-point lead. Sean Smith, the stopper for the Wrath, was laying into his guys in the break. He needs them to pick it up. Down by 10 to start this second. Here's Horton. He will reset off the wall, leaving the scoring zone. Cutting from the top and throwing it in is Deontay Bird.
No basket. Violation.
And Deontay Bird is a family of SlamBallers, right? Look, his dad, George Bird, one of the greatest, and his brother, Donovan, who plays for the Ozone. SlamBall runs in the veins.
So no bucket action. They called it off. They said Bird was called for a travel. That's Ermias Casa, also known as Mr. Irrelevant, last pick. Here he is, number 8.
You can't come in. You got to already be in the box.
Encroachment.
You got to already be in the scoring
called
zone.
against the Wrath. So Mob get it back here.
And I love the Mob strategy of bringing the stopper, Gage Smith, into the offense. And it's given them an advantage, right? Because all of a sudden it's kind of 4-on-3 with the stopper under the basket. You can move the ball around, and they really take advantage of that, unlike some other teams.
Face off. Face off.
And as you see right here, Gage Smith just coming in. Gets hit as he was entering the tramp, but you can't do that once you leave the feet. Entering a tramp, a defensive player cannot hit you.
So it'll be Smith going against Trey Landers, and it was a no contest. Gage Smith got that quick first step and beat the defender to the rim. So 3 points for the Mob. After a face-off, they keep possession.
Mob ball.
He just got higher quicker. And as you saw, the face-off converts. It's a great 3 points by Gage Smith.
Remember, bump and release. Bump and release.
Horton, and a popcorn violation called, so it's going the other way. That's when one player stops the bounce of the other player trying to get up off the tramps.
It's not a face-off. It's not.
13-point lead for the Mob. Let's see if the Wrath can pick it up. Slade couldn't finish.
And that was one of those opportunities where he had an open alley. You got to convert those.
Remember, you can't touch the player till they put it on the floor, but once they enter into the slam zone, you cannot touch them.
Penalty points, legal contact.
And that's going to be a foul against Landers. So because they're in the bonus, 2 points awarded to the Mob, they keep the ball.
Release, bump and release, remember.
And 3 seconds on the island, a violation by Horton. But they're going to make a correction.
Let's go.
Nope. Yep, they're going to correct that one. So normally it's 3 seconds when the player has the ball. You're allowed to stand on the island if you don't have the ball. So good job by the officials making the correct call there. Coming through, Cam Hollins with the jam.
You could almost call that a flex cut, where the Mob sent a guy in to get the stopper off balance, and then they send somebody in on the wing and did a great job executing.
2 players for the same team in the same tramp. That's a violation. Take a look at this last dunk.
And there it was, right? You see number 3, Cam Hollins, come in right off what's called a wing cut when they come in off the side. And a great pass and a great execution.
12 points already from him, 4 of 5 on those rim attacks. He's getting after it tonight.
Good outlet pass. Here comes Slade with the finger roll. Because he didn't touch the rim, that's good for 2 points for the Wrath. Horton looking to be the distributor, and he finds Hollins again. Back-to-back dunks for Cameron Hollins.
Sean Stith is a great player in this league, and the ability for the Mob to get him off balance, right? A flex cut is when you're going to bring a guy in to decoy that stopper, and what happens is he jumps in the air and turns his body, and now he's completely out of position. Then you send a cutter in from the other side, you dish it, and the stopper is just, he doesn't know what to do. He's kind of left in no man's land, and you got a free bucket.
You already had one. 2 points.
Under 2 minutes to play here in this first half, it has been all Mob. The only undefeated team left here in SlamBall. They are perfect at 6-0. Wrath sitting 3rd place right now at 3-2. This is an important game. We've got a face-off. Ryan Johnson going against Cameron Hollins, and it's Johnson. He gets bodied. Cam Hollins says, sit down.
You know, I think this is a play that secretly Cam Hollins loves. He's a total adrenaline junkie. Whether it's skydiving, whether it's bungee jumping, he loves adrenaline, he loves height, and he loves mid-air collisions.
Remember, bump and release.
I mean, you can see how high he got.
He played the ball, so it's not a foul if the defender's actually going for the ball. Good no call there.
2 in the bottom.
2 Wrath players in the bottom tramp. That's a turnover. Kenny Smith, your guy, getting in on the offense.
Getting in on the offense. It's such an advantage.
Get up.
Dribbles, so he can enter the bottom tramp, but he's denied by Stiff.
Violation. No
But
reset.
you also have to have
No
an athlete
reset.
back there, right? A guy that can do a lot.
No reset.
And so when the Mob saw Cade Smith, they instantly knew right away you could be a stopper and dominate because you're so versatile.
So the whistle was blown because they didn't reset off the wall after leaving the tramp, so the Wrath get the ball back. There's the stop by Smith.
Great play by Smith.
So it looked like just an inadvertent whistle was called. So they stopped the action.
Hey, let's go, let's go.
Let him go now, let him
And
go
the
now.
Wrath get the ball
Let him
back.
go
Here
now.
comes Slade. Entering the slam zone, gets Gage the stopper off the wood, but he has to reset. The
Don't
cutter
reset.
off the mark,
Crossman, can't come in. Mob ball.
and a turnover. Mob get the ball back, under a minute to play here in this first half.
You know, the Mob are 6-0, and it doesn't shock you that they actually have the fewest turnovers in the league.
Oh, the flying Cameron Hollins. He's got wings on his back.
It's like watching the Harlem Globetrotters out here. They are just doing what they want, how they want on offense.
And I don't want to pump the tires too hard, but I mean, the highest scoring offense, fewest points allowed on D. Points per game differential is insane.
And right now,
Hollins again with Darius Clark out tonight. Cameron Hollins has stepped up big time.
They can do no wrong, and Cam Hollins is leading the way. 7 of 8, the efficiency at the rim for that guy tonight already.
Wrath, 4 seconds to play here in this first half. Johnson, gotta get busy, gotta get a shot up, and he does not. What a first half complete domination by the Mob. Cameron Hop.
33 points in the first quarter. Are you kidding me right now? Gage Smith just absolutely dominating. Mob up 33-8.
Thanks for joining us here on this second week of SlamBall here from Las Vegas inside Cox Pavilion. Alongside my crew, John Dornbos, Stormy Bonantoni. I am John Schriffen. We are at the half. Mob up 33-8. John, take us through some of these highlights.
I mean, the ability of Cam Smith to be such a versatile player, whether it's going coast to coast, winning faceoff, scoring, setting the offense, and just dominating underneath the basket as a stopper, it's almost unfair. And you notice this, the Mob, you're going to notice they actually set plays. They run an offense. They execute what's called a flex cut, right? And so they're trying to get the stopper off balance in midair, and then they send a cutter backdoor, and they dish it off to him, and they execute it perfectly. Hey, and Cage Hollins right now just absolutely leading everything. I'm sorry, let's go Cam Hollins. He's got 21 points. The rim attacks, 7 of 8. Loose ball recovery, it's a stat I love. It's just straight hustle. Offensive faceoffs, he's 1 for 1. Cam Hollins is having a night.
He is trying to get the scoring record. The record was set earlier this season by Ty McGee, 43 points in a game. Already has 21 here in this first quarter, in this first half. Very feasible for him to get there. I mean, having 21 of your team's 33 points, yeah, it's safe to say that's a pretty decent start. So that minus 250, probably looking pretty good right now for the Mob. It's a throwdown. We start each half with a throwdown. It's won by the Wrath. Let's see how they regrouped. Oh, man. Gage Smith.
Let him go.
Fearless.
Get off.
Slade trying to find the cutter. Mob get the turnover.
And to have Gage Smith step up and be such a dominant role in a game, he's definitely a lead leader, but a lead leader. But you also got to think a man in his position, he's like the quarterback of the team. The team's going to follow his vibe.
Go to your bench. Face off.
So Cameron Horton, as he was entering the tramp, was fouled. That'll be our first face-off here in this third quarter. It'll be Horton going against Jordan Jones. As they wait for Cam Horton to get his helmet. All right. Who we got?
I want Jordan Jones because I want a momentum shift. I want the Wraith to get a little. I want a huge hit in the air right now.
Stormy,
I want the Wrath to.
Who you like?
I'm with JD here. I would like him. I would like defense to.
Ooh. See what had happened was.
That took the words right out of my mouth.
Cameron Horton, nothing but business.
I mean, and this dunk speaks for itself, but I want to reiterate when it comes to the Wrath, they are super short-handed. You said it, no Ty McGee, but their lead stopper and first-round pick, Christian Gray, unavailable with a knee. Steven Julian out with an ankle. This would be a different type of a game if they were out here.
It would, and those 3 players alone constitute for 66% of the Wrath's total offense, and when you're missing those 3 guys, it's a difference maker.
Because that was the second foul in this quarter against the Wrath, we only have 1 face-off per quarter. Bonus for the Mob, 2 points, and they keep the ball. Big. Oh! Did he go through the legs? Did he just do that?
Cam Hollins.
Goodness.
He is the big energy guy. He is the guy that when a team needs a spark or wants to set the tone, they give it to Cam Hollins, and it's showtime.
A tie-up.
Good hustle.
Possession goes to the defense, so the Mob get the ball back. What's impressed you the most so far in this game about the Mob?
It's just their ability to execute in space. They move guys away from the ball. They're constantly cutting in and out of the scoring tramp. They're very disciplined on not having 2 in the tramp. They know the rules, and their execution has been phenomenal.
That's all head coaching Brendan Kirsch. He's got these guys ready to play, and there's the lay-in for Horton. 2 more.
I think it's just the overall discipline.
Slade made the adjustment around the stopper to lay it in, so the Wrath hit double figures now. They're at 10.
And Brendan Kirsch has been the coach of the Mob in previous iterations. He's got a system that he found works, and he drafted to that system. He picked these guys out to play their roles, and they execute to perfection.
4 seconds on the shot clock, and Deontay Bird beats it with 2 more.
And this is a funny word to bring up in such a fast-paced game, but patience. I feel like the mob has patience.
Mob, they also lead the league in hits. Nice move there by Slade. Daniels coming through, gets his own miss, and he lays it in. Landers, so back-to-back buckets for the Wrath. They're at 12. Orton resets underneath, directing traffic.
I'll get it.
Actually pulls up a jump shot off the mark. Here comes Stiff to the outlet, is over to Slade. Slade, big bounce. And that's illegal. Got 1 foot in no man's land. Trey Landers, the turnover. You're allowed to stand on the middle pad, which is the island. Any other part of the black padding is out of bounds.
Good.
You know, it seems like a big lead, Stormy, but this is SlamBall. We can see points add up in a hurry. The Wrath are not out of it yet.
We certainly can, and it's funny, Brendan Kirsch always talks about how he never feels comfortable with the lead, and we talked about the margin of victory we saw from that opening week. It's because 20 points doesn't feel good to him because of the scoring structure and the way that points can rack up, particularly in the fourth quarter.
Think about it, a dunk right there, that's 3 points for Nick Parks. You get a shot from beyond the arc, that's 4 points. If you get stop after stop, you can come back in this game quickly.
15-point swings happen on a dime.
And especially right at the end of the game when all of a sudden you're not doing face-offs, you're just getting points if you get penalties. Points can add up fast.
Here's Trey Landers, comes in from the wing, settles on the island. Nick Parks with the cut. Had the stopper off balance, but no good. Now we have a whistle. And we have a player down on the other end.
Go to your bench. Go to your bench. Hey, go to your bench. Go to your bench.
So both teams will go to their benches as a Wrath player. Looks like it's Sean Stiff, their stopper, who's still down in the bottom tramp.
That's a huge blow right now for the Wrath. Look, they view him as a leader. He's the one that sets the tone. He's a co-captain. His goal is to absolutely crush you. So he tries to set the tone physically and give his team momentum.
I hate it for them, just considering we already talked about it multiple times. They're down 3 bodies already, and now another key contributor to what they're trying to do having an issue here.
Not only has athletically been the leader for this team, but we've seen even in the huddles, he's been the emotional leader, trying to get the guys fired up. Being a former football guy, we see him get back to his feet. Having an emotional leader, what does that mean for the team?
It's usually your guy who's your ride or die, that no matter what, if there's a scuffle, 32 is the first one in there having the back of his teammates. That goes a long way, and so having him go down right now, which it looks like it's probably a knee or an ankle, and it doesn't look good as you see him hobbling off the court right now.
So Sean Stiff, at 6'8", 255, out of East Oakland, California, will be helped off the court. We hope he's going to be okay, because for the Wrath, they are already down a bunch of players, and it's now going to be tough to come back in without your starting stopper. Under a minute to play here in this third quarter. Holloway trying to run away from the defense. Simpson cutting into the bottom tramp. He'll reset off the wall. Spinning in the lane and laying it in. Cameron Hollins deep in his bag, showing all the moves.
So for Stiff, in comes in number 7, Ryan Johnson, who's a great player. He's a playmaker. They call him the floor general. Look, he's not necessarily a big scorer, but he definitely moves the ball around, so hopefully he'll give a spark to the offense.
Ryan Johnson's a guy who came off the taxi squad. That's the squad of guys who are just ready to get picked up if somebody gets injured. He was picked up last week, and he settled in here with the Wrath, number 7 in black. Simpson bumped, keeps going, settles on the island. Holloway cutting in, and a shot clock violation. 10 seconds to play here in this third quarter.
See, as an NFL guy, these are the moments where you get excited for a guy like Johnson who gets a huge opportunity. He's got a situation where a superstar could be born if he steps up and leads this team to a comeback against the Mob.
There's a deep 4, and it goes. Trey Landers beats the buzzer at the third. So the Wrath showing some life here. Down 47-19. We still have one more quarter to play here in Vegas.
I think this is where you see, look, Stith has been such a presence. Losing him right now could be detrimental. Hopefully the Wrath can come back.
We get set for the start of the fourth quarter alongside John Dornbos, Stormy Bonantoni. I'm John Schriffen. Stormy, our betting analyst, break down the odds for tonight's games because we have live betting in action tonight.
Yes, so excited. We have these live in Arizona and Tennessee, but hopefully by next week in even more places. Available at BetMGM right now. Circa next week is going to be fantastic, but the Mob, a -2 favorite as we've referenced here tonight, a huge favorite, and I mean, the scoring margin that we have here today looking like that could possibly be the finish. But for the later game, it's closer to a pick'em. Ozone, a -120 favorite. Rumble, a minus number as well, -105. So bet under $5 to win 100 on the underdog Rumble in that spot. But these numbers are going to be available throughout every single game moving forward. We're going to have futures odds as well. That, I think, is super exciting because we talk about in the NFL and NBA and other sports, those futures odds you have to sit on for a really, really long time. This league's only a few weeks, so you get the result faster.
Cam Horton beats his guy to the rim on the face-off. I want to continue to talk about betting because it's so fascinating. This sport has been around since it was started 20 years ago, but this new generation, it's very new to a lot of people, especially the sports books. How are they starting to figure things out? What are they looking at? And as a bettor, how do you decide to pick which team?
So that's why we weren't able to have odds the opening weekend, because there just wasn't a sample size. You didn't really know what types of teams that these guys were going to be able to put together. All you really knew was coaching history and players that had been involved previously. Now we have games. Now we have results. Now we understand how many points are being scored on a given night. So the handicapping will start to come more naturally here soon.
What I'm fascinated to figure out is which stats mean the most. Obviously, we know about scoring as Simpson misses the Moonmill jam there. But what other stats play into play, like hits, loose ball recoveries? Which stats really determine which team's going to win?
I think loose ball recoveries and stops are going to be huge, and also just general efficiency, depending on which area of the floor you're on. Are you efficient within the tramp zone? Are you a team that's able to deliver from the outside shot, or are you missing the majority of those? So those are the keys. I would say efficiency will be number one.
Get up, get up, get up.
I mean, John, we've seen in the NFL just how much guys crunching numbers have changed the game in terms of the efficiency, how you run plays, how you run your offense. It's going to be interesting to see how that develops here in SlamBall as well.
Well, you know, an interesting thing you just brought up, the idea of sports betting, the idea of fantasy leagues. The NFL experienced 50% women play fantasy football. There's a whole different demographic for them. So SlamBall is seeing the same progression.
And just look at the crowd. I mean, it is every color of the rainbow is represented here tonight. SlamBall is a family atmosphere. But take a look at this. Deontay Bird with two hands.
And when you're here live, the crowds react because, you know, I don't know what it looks like on TV, but when you're here, they are soaring high. It is insane the collisions that is happening 12, 13 feet up in the air.
The Mob took control of this game in the second quarter. It hasn't been close since. Holloway avoids that hit, enters the side tramp on the island. Will reset, jump shot, and it rolls in. Justin Holloway, a little wrinkle to the Mob offense.
Again, just talking about overall offense. You got two guys cutting to the basket. The stopper played it. So what does he do? He bounces up, executes a little jump shot, but it goes in. So they have so many different options, and they're executing.
Interesting here. So Brendan Kirsch, head coach for the Mob, even with the huge lead, calling a timeout. And Stormy, something we noticed first time we ever saw the Mob, the head coaches and their attire when they take the court.
Yes, they are the only staff that rocks the suits. By the way, it's giving like full Don Corleone tonight, the Godfather and all. Let's take a listen into this huddle.
We're going to look for tramp jumpers, and we're going to look. I want every cut to be a 2. We're not going one tramp lob anymore. Trey doesn't have the agility down there. He's way up, so you're going to be able to get him. If you come down, if you give the ball on 2 and you come down and you have it, go ahead and dunk it. Otherwise, just keep running the offense, stretch out the shot clock. On defense, keep doing what you're doing. I'm not going to tell you to let up defensively, all right? Just keep doing what you're doing, and stop it, all right? Just want to give you a break. We got 2 minutes left. Close this thing out strong. Don't limp to the finish. Close it out strong. Let's go.
Finish on 3, finish on 3.
And you know, we say, look good, play good. That's kind of the thing. Well, for Coach Kirsch, he said our mentality is we're going to dress better than you, we're going to play better than you, and we're going to punch you in the mouth. And I mean, Exhibit A here today, but it's something that they've done night in and night out since day one. I also love the opportunity, by the way, to listen in on these huddles.
Oh, it's been incredible. Good job, everybody in the truck, getting us that audio. It has been incredible access, and Gage Smith comes in for the two-hand slam. You got to feel bad for James Willis, head coach for the Wrath, assistant coach James Lee. They have just been bit by the injury bug, and they're incredible coaches, but when you don't have the roster, your top pick's not on the floor, not much the Wrath can do against the top team here at SlamBall.
I mean, you're like you said, with the Wrath, you're arguing your top 4 players aren't playing. So that's a tough situation, and then you're coming in playing a team that's 6-0.
Here's Smith again in on the offense, finger roll, 2 more points. Mob, they've hit the 60-point number tonight.
To recap those names who are missing for the Wrath tonight, their top scorer, Ty McGee, in concussion protocol, lead stopper and first-round pick Christian Gray, and handler Stephen Julian. Then tonight, Sean Stiff, their big man, had to exit the game, couldn't put any pressure on that left leg as he walked off the court.
That's a starting 4 right there.
Yep.
Cameron Horton from the wing, that's a 4-pointer short.
Violation. Coach, you can't come in. You got to already be in the zone.
So the Wrath will stop the clock with 57 seconds to play here in this fourth. They call timeout, and James Willis wants to talk it over to his guys.
All right, look. This is an ass whooping. This is an ass whipping. Ass whipping. All right? This is it. Do you guys like the way this feels? I don't. Okay? All right. We aren't communicating. You can only hear my voice out here. All right? So look, we got 1 minute. Play good for 1 minute. Get your money's worth for 1 minute. Gotta play hard. They are absolutely killing us on that backside lob. All right, let's go. Look here.
John, what do you think about that timeout? Even though down big, Wrath head coach James Willis still wants his guys to finish strong.
You want to finish strong, but look, you also got a 2-time champ at SlamBall, you're right, in Coach Willis. So he's used to winning. This is obviously frustrating for him, and he's got to find a way to rally his team.
So under a minute to play. Don't forget, coming up next, we will have the Rumble taking on the Ozone. The winner of that game will play the winner of this game in the main event coming up later today. Out of the timeout, that's Darian Slade, and the Wrath showing some heart even though they're down big.
Legal contact.
Illegal contact called against Jordan Jones.
Legal contact. Can't stand. 2-handed stand.
The Mob's got Cam Hollins back in the game, who's leading the whole game right now with 26 points. His rim attacks are at 90%. He's just doing what he wants when he wants.
Gage Smith. And that'll do it for the Mob. 30 seconds to play. Slade trying to make it respectable. 2 in the tramp for the Wrath.
No basket.
They get called for 2 in the tramp, and yet, are you kidding me right now? Jordan Jones just pulls up a 4-pointer, hits it, and it doesn't count.
A little sportsmanship here. Cameron Horton slowing it down
Shot clock, play.
with this game in hand.
Play.
3 seconds on the shot clock, and Gage Smith with the exclamation mark.
I don't think it matters how big the lead is. The Mob will not give up until the buzzer buzzes.
68-27, our final score. The Mob, an absolutely dominating performance in Game 1 here tonight. They get the win. They move on to the main event. And it was an impressive performance from the Mob from the opening throwdown. Cameron Hollins leading all scorers. He had 26 points to lead the way for the Mob.
All right. All right.
Coach Kirsch has to be happy with that performance, because when you play a team sometime that might not be as good as you, sometimes you play down to their level. And sure enough, they stepped up and they executed. Right now, Stormy's with Cam Hollins. Stormy, take it away.
You danced up to me. That's how you can tell that it's a good day. You guys were dominant from start to finish. At what point in the game could you tell it was just going to be one of those performances?
Honestly, it started when we woke up this morning. You know, you got to come in with that mentality of we're here to handle business, another day in the office.
You guys are undefeated, 7-0 so far here in this SlamBall season. How do you keep this thing rolling?
Everybody just does their part. We stay as one group. We're not individuals, we're a team. It's that mob mentality, baby.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Stormy, good stuff. Once again, our final in the game one. Mob win it 68-27. We take a look at some of the highlights. The Wrath were in it early, but after that first quarter, it was all MOB. Yeah, it was that kind of game.